So listen, this is a little bit weird. I've never done two game reviews in one episode before for the Falcons, but I decided, what's really not fair? Not only did I not upload um power rankings last week, I also didn't upload the Falcons game review. So, even though I'm not going to be uploading a week 4 game review when it's almost the end of week 5, I am going to review both the Jags and the Texans game. This is going to be the AFC South versus Falcons game review. This is going to be slightly quicker than most reviews the individual reviews. Because I don't want these videos to get too far over 16 minutes really ever. So, I'm going to go through them a little bit quicker than usual. First, Falcons on the road. Well, not even on the road, on the plane. Up against the Jaguars in, I think, the first London game of the season, or it was the second one. I can't really remember. It might have been the first one. But, we took a big L. It was a 2-score loss, and even if you did get those 2 scores, you have to get the 2-point conversion both times, losing 7-23. The Jags really just made most of the game harder for the Falcons in the first half. 17 points in the first half alone. Falcons only put up points in one quarter, and the Jags easily closed it out in the fourth quarter. We never even really had a high chance to win. Just wasn't really close. I mean, the Falcons never had any momentum on them. Total yards, they beat us by 13, which means you can tell if they had way more points than us and we only had 13 less total yards, there's 2 things that occurred. 1, probably some turnovers, and 2, failing to score when it matters the most, which both occurred. We had 3 turnovers. The Jaguars had 0, which is also giant. And as you see, also, we had more first downs. It just matters that turnovers and red zone percentage, and we failed in both of those. Going to the box score, starting out with the Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder, 19-31, 191 yards, only 6 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown but 2 interceptions. This is his first game of multiple interceptions of his career. He had an interception against the Packers. Actually, he had 2 other plays that could have been. He could have 6 right now. He should be happy that he has 3. Terrible QB rating, 9.3. Whatever. Rating, 62.7. Very low, very bad. Bijan Robinson, though, 14 carries for over 100 yards for the second time this season. Wait. Well, no. I need to make sure my facts are correct. Was this the second time this season? Do you have 100 against the Packers? Okay, yes, he did. So this is the second time Bijan had 100 yards on the ground. Second time, oh my god. 7 yards per carry is also amazing, along with a big 38-yard run. Jonnu Smith was our best receiver, 6 for 95. He caught every target. You know who else caught every target? Bijan Robinson, 5 receptions, 32 yards. Drake London was targeted 7 times, but only caught 3 of those for 28. But he did catch our only touchdown. Pitts was only targeted 4 times, caught 2 of them for 21. Hodge, caught all of his targets for 19. And you can see we had 3 other players with at least 1 target, but only one of them caught one. And who caught one lost 4 yards. A terrible receiving game. You might be like, but Bijan and John who called their targets. Yeah, he was good. Bijan was 6 yards per catch, which is alright. It's alright. And then after that, London caught less than half his targets. Pitts only caught half. Cardero Hodge caught both his targets, but only for 19 yards. Not really a big impact. Just not explosive at all is the main point right there. Ritter also fumbled, so that's 3 turnovers for him. The fumble was at the end of the game, but still wanted to happen at all. Rishi Grant led us in tackles with 11 and 9 solo. We actually had sacks in this game that we got destroyed in. 1.5 for Onyemata, a half for Bud Dupree, and 7 QB hits, probably the most we had the entire season. Nothing else. Literally nothing else happened. Nothing else important for the Falcons. Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good day, 23 of 30 for over 200 and a touchdown. He was sacked twice, but had a pretty good QBR and rating. ETN couldn't really get it going today. He had not today. Over whatever. He had 20 carries, 55 yards, less than 3 yards average, and only a long of 7 is very great. It's amazing. Lawrence had a slightly better day. Less than half of the carries, but way more yards. And the long of 22. Tanks Bixby had a couple carries as well. Not much, though. Total of 100, but I mean, the average was pretty good, only 3.3. If you take out the quarterback, he goes even farther down. So, receiving was way better. Christian Kirk was targeted 12 times, caught 8. Ridley was only targeted twice, but caught both of them and a wide open touchdown. And I think only missed one of his 8 targets for 59 yards. A great day. They were able to spread the ball to their 4 best receivers, the 4 at the top, and they all had pretty good games. ETM just was kind of immobilized this game, but specifically Kirk, Ingram, and Ridley were pretty much unstoppable for the Falcons. Could barely knock the ball away when it was targeted towards those players. They fumbled twice and didn't lose either. Oh yeah, I remember Cisco. He picked the ball up and fumbled. I think Ingram just fumbled, but he didn't lose it. A great day for the Jags. They did fumble twice, but luckily none of them came back to bite them. 9 tackles for Aluakun, 4 sacks, 3 by Josh Allen, my goodness, and 1 by the former Georgia Bulldog, Trayvon Walker. Tackles for loss, 3 for Aluakun, 2 for Josh Allen, who once again had an amazing day, and 1 for Andre Cisco. Passes defense, you just read it. Look at all the passes defense. 7 QB hits as well, and 1 touchdown. And the touchdown came from Darius Williams on a 61-yard pick 6, along with Andre Cisco. I'm gonna kind of just quickly sum up how I feel about this game. It kind of felt like Ritter was really holding us back in this game, along with the play calling. Now, I'm not gonna just say, oh well, he's good now, so it's okay, because bad games like this, we're not just gonna forget. Ritter, first of all, made terrible decisions. And even when he was making a good decision, the ball never felt like it was where it was supposed to be. And there's no excuse for only throwing it to Kyle Pitts 4 times. There's no excuse for that. Trust me. If Bijan was not on the field, if we did not draft him, we had Algier here as our number 1 back, who only had 2.3 yards per carry, this would have been a lot worse. Bijan was really our only saving grace in this game, along with some defensive sacks, like 2. That's good for the Falcons. Great game for the Jaguars. Really what they needed to get back into the rhythm of things and later on beat the Bills. In fact, this took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Yep, it did. So let's hurry up and get to the Texans game. Now, this happened yesterday, so I can remember more of the specifics. Falcons win at home, still undefeated at home. Ritter's still undefeated at home in his entire football career. We won by 2, 19-21. As you can see in the scoring summary, Texans scored every quarter. It's just that in the first 3, they didn't score any touchdowns. The Falcons were very impressive in their bend don't break approach. And if their offense was even decent this game, which I don't think it was. I think it was just bad. You might be 21 points like that, bro. It was bad. Sure, we scored 2 touchdowns in the 4th. Well, actually, we only scored 1. We scored 1, kicked 2 field goals. But the fact that the second and third quarter had 0 points, not 0 touchdowns, 0 points, is terrible. That's bad. And even though we won, and I think there is more positive than negative, there's still things to clean up, especially on the offensive side. C.J. Stroud, very great this season. Still couldn't get him to force a ball into his first interception of the season. 88.9 passer rankings, pretty good, along with 249 yards and a touchdown. Another great defensive game on the ground for the Falcons. Dameon Pierce carried it 20 times, just like ETN did. Similar results. He actually, he had a 40. Oh no, ESPN. He had 15-yard carry here. So if you take that away, it would be 19 for 51, which is not as good. But hey, it did happen. We can't take that stat away from him. Still, only 3.3 yards per carry is nothing to laugh at. Falcons' run defense continues to be the best part of their defense this season. Receiving, Jolton Schultz was open a lot, targeted in the double digits 10 times, caught 7 of them, and scored a touchdown late in the game. Nathaniel Tank Dell, 4 targets, 3 receptions. Same for Nico Collins. Both of them had 57 and 39 yards, respectively. Robert Woods only caught 3 of his 9 targets, and no really other notable appearances or performances for the Texans. They recovered 2 fumbles, and that's 5 turnovers for the Falcons in 2 games. Not very good. And Texans' defense isn't as bad as it was last year, definitely. They're doing way better this season. Henry To'oto'o, I think that's how you pronounce it, maybe, and Jalen Petrie both had double-digit tackles. No sacks for the Texans. I think that's the first time the entire season the Falcons haven't been sacked. 7 tackles for losses are pretty good, though. Only 3 passes to pass, nothing special. 3 QB hits as well. Couldn't pick the ball off of the kind of shaky Desmond Ridder, who definitely cleaned up his game today. 4 kicks for Kaimi Fairbairn, 4 field goals, and they're all good. But that's what really hurt the Texans today, not being able to put it in the end zone. The Falcons didn't do too great at that either. Desmond Ridder, 28 of 37 for 329 yards, almost 9 per attempt, and a touchdown. 111.2 passer rating. Great game from him. Rushing, that's another thing to mention about Desmond Ridder. He had 4 carries, which I'm pretty sure 2 of them were kneels for 10 yards and a touchdown. So that's another game where he gets a rushing touchdown. That's his 2nd of the season. He only has 4 passing touchdowns with 6 total. Makes it look a lot less bad. But besides the quarterback, the running back didn't do too great today. Bijan, 14 for 46. Him and Algie both had a big carry once in a while, but nothing really too special from the two. Texans did a great job of cleaning them up. Receiving, finally a good receiving game for the Falcons. Kyle Pitts caught 11 of his 7. London caught 9 of his 6, and John Smith caught 7 of his 6. All of them had over 60 yards. Pitts, 87, which is most of the season. London, 78, which is most of the season. And John Smith with 67, even though it's not most of the season, still a great performance. Matt Collins caught both of his for 29. Keith Smith caught his first pass of the season. He's probably not had many others besides that one. Probably his best play of his entire career. Michael Pruitt also had a big catch. Bijan had 2 for 12 and an amazing touchdown. A beautiful play. Cordell Hodge and Scotty Miller starting to get the ball, weirdly. And Patterson also. Algier had 1 target, didn't catch it. Also, yeah, one of the John Smith plays, which is long, was a throw by Drake London on a trick play. Pretty cool. Fumbles. We fumbled 3 times. One was a muff snap, or whatever you want to call it, but that we did recover. John Smith and Bijan both fumbled on, like, back-to-back drives or something. No, it wasn't back-to-back. I think it was fumble, touchdown, fumble. Not great. But, luckily, we still managed to win the game that we fumbled a lot in. Nothing really too noble in tackles. But just cool as 6 out of 6 tackles, 5 of them were solo. Once again, no sacks for the Falcons, but they get 4 tackles for loss. And 5 pass defense isn't bad at all. 2 by D. Alford. And you can see the other ones are kind of spread out. QB hits, they only had 2 as well. Just not a great day pass rushing. Patterson had a couple good kick returns. Q had the game-winning field goal to get the win. So my overall thoughts on these 2 games is that our offense is still shaky. I don't like the fact that Ridder threw for 300 yards and we only put up 21 points is still contributing to the fact that we need to score when we're getting those yards. Like, you can't throw for 300 yards and only have 2 touchdowns. It just shouldn't be happening. I feel like if our run game was, like, we need to have a more consistent attack. Our passing did amazing today when our run game didn't do so great, which is good. But also when our run game does great, our pass offense doesn't do so well. We will bet put up 30 points if they could ever do good together. But our next game against the Commanders, who are pretty bad, so that might be a chance to really prove ourselves. Probably our easiest or second easiest game of the season. Tell me what you think about my review, if it was good or bad, and what do you think about the Falcons heading into Week 6. See you guys next time. Adios.